Hi there, I'm Jodi Reinert. This is my Stamp with Jodi YouTube channel, and this is the Great North American Stampin' Show where your vote every week decides the winner. You guys loved my hot chocolate pouch last week. Thank you so much for voting. I get to enjoy my very special bejeweled Burger King crown this week because I won last week's episode. If you didn't see this video, be sure to look at my channel right here. I have a playlist of all of the episodes of the Great North American Stampin' Show from the last couple of years. So this is the most recent one on that playlist. So take a look if you missed it last week. Before I jump into the awesome card that I have for you this week that might just make me a repeat winner, I wanted to remind you about the special announcement that we made last week about our Traditions and Treasures Christmas Retreat in a Box. We are so excited to offer this to you. And as we were talking and planning, it kind of got us thinking about our own Christmas traditions, ones that we currently have and ones from our childhood. So I'm curious if you've got Christmas traditions and ones maybe from your childhood that you now carry into your adult life. One that I thought of was when I was little on Christmas Eve, my family, my sisters, my parents, and I would gather at my grandpa and grandma's house, and aunts, uncles, cousins, like everybody would be there. It was a big gathering. And we would be there, we would eat, we would open some gifts, and then it got to be that certain time, and all of the kids got to change into their fancy little clothes. We had our dresses, our tights, the little patent leather shoes, because it was time for the children's program at church. So it was always fun just to be there with family, and then we just knew it was time to get ready for church for the children's program, and we got to put on our special clothes and then go as a family to church. So that's something cool that I think about from my childhood. This new Christmas Traditions and Treasures Retreat in a Box might just become a new favorite tradition for you. As a reminder, you have until October 15th to sign up, so you've got a couple of weeks, but I would sign up sooner rather than later because it's just so exciting. We have 8 very creative cards for you, and then 2 3D projects that are over the top. They are some of the coolest things I've literally ever made. So go ahead and get registered, whether you want to do the full retreat in the box or just the tutorial option. Both are available, and like I said, you can register until October 15th. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy about 1 hour of creative inspiration. All right, today we are doing layouts from page 58 in the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, and we have 3 choices on this page. I decided to go with this one right here on the bottom. There's several things I'm pulling in from this card. The first is just the focal point with the 2 circles and the banner piece. And then I'm also going to use that plaid, which I can't remember the name of, something plaid. If you search plaid in the online store, it will pop up. That I do know. But I'm going to use that embossing folder too. So I'm going to leave this up here out of the way a little bit so that I can reference that in a minute to show you something cool. I am using the Jolly Holly stamp set. This one is an online exclusive. I like it because it's got images, it's got bigger greetings, it's got verses for the inside, and we're going to use all of that. So Jolly Holly is the stamp set. And my card base today is Cherry Cobbler. So it is 8.5 by 5.5. And I'll just line up those corners to get my fold for my card base. And then I think I'm going to do the inside because I always forget. And with this dark card base, I want to make sure that I do the inside. I've got a strip of designer paper from the Traditions of Christmas package, and it is 1 inch by 5 1/4. And this piece of basic white is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And so I'm going to just take this little piece and set it across the bottom, and then we'll attach the white right on the inside. That will give us a nice light surface to stamp a greeting on. And then also to write a message, sign your names, all of that. So we will just center this in here. And I'm going to just go ahead and pull in the stamps and ink that I need for this right now. Do the greeting so I don't forget. Cherry Cobbler ink And the verse says, may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love, which is just a lovely sentiment. I'm going to do it up just a little bit higher here to give myself room to write my names. If you feel like you need more space, just don't make this an inch. Do a 1/2 inch, or you could even do a 1/4 inch if you want. Or honestly, you don't have to do it at all. I just like the little bit of surprise on the inside. Okay. Set that aside while I have the ink open. I think I'm going to just do that. So if you recall, there was 2 circles on that sample. Let me scoot it in just really quickly. Oh, geez. I think I just literally set my catalog in the Cherry Cobbler ink. Oh, boy. Okay, so you can see the 2 circles and the little banner piece. Okay, so I'm going to work with those pieces. I die cut with all these shapes, and I've got 2 different banners and 2 different circles that I have die cut. So I've got the gold foil here. I've got another piece of designer paper. This is the same pattern we did on the inside. This is just the polka dots on the back. And then these 2 circles are basic white. So I'm going to stamp my Merry Christmas with Cherry Cobbler ink just in the center of the smaller of the 2 circles. Now I'm going to close this ink pad so I don't make more of a mess. All right. So I want to kind of build things. This piece is 5 1/4 by 4. I love this designer paper. Again, the polka dots are on the back, but you see the gold. It's just so pretty. Such a gorgeous package of designer paper. So that's going here. And then I want to stack these circles like they were. But then I've got these 2 banners. And so what I've got to figure out, you know, if I stick this in here, to me, that just doesn't quite do it. I mean, it's okay, but I think we can do better and do it really in an easy way. All I'm going to do is take each of the banners and cut them in half. It might be the exact center, it might not be, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to cut each of them in the relative center. What that's going to allow me to do is spread them out a little bit. So if that's attached, I'll set the big circle down, spread these out a little bit, add that on each side, and then this in the center. So do you see how it just draws your eye out a little bit instead of those little stubby banners there? So that's what's great about all of the banner dies in the stylish shapes, is that you can die cut them and then cut them in half and stretch them out. So love that about the banners. So this is the basics of the card, but I need to make it over the top, right? If I want to get your vote again this week, I need to take it up a notch, and that's what I'm going to do, and I can't wait to show you. So I'm going to scoot this off to the side, and remember when I mentioned that plaid embossing folder? I'm going to go ahead and emboss the designer paper. So right now, it's just a very smooth surface with the gold foil, but now wait and see how it looks plaid. So I run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in the folder, and then this is what I get. Do you see that plaid detail on there? It just adds some texture and interest to that piece, and I just think it's a lot of fun. And it's just a great reminder that you can emboss pieces of designer paper. It doesn't have to just be cardstock. So I'm putting a little bit extra adhesive on the back just because it is embossed, and so it's not like a flat surface. And so I want to make sure I've got plenty of adhesive to hold it in place. So this will just get centered on the front of the card. And then, like I said before, we've got the pieces here and we can just layer them on, which I like. I like this okay, but I still feel like I gotta do something a little bit more special to make this card really stand out. So I would love your feedback on this. This is option number 1, to just keep it super simple, keep both circles white, and just stamp the greeting. Definitely an option. Here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna show you something really cool on the larger circle. I am going to take Versamark ink, and a couple of images from that Jolly Holly stamp set. So remember, there's some images in here as well as all the greetings. So I'm going to pull in 2 images that I think you could see them okay. I thought that they were kind of represented in the designer paper. So this, to me, is like these little branches, and then the poinsettia here is this here. And so what I'm gonna do, I'll set that aside. I am going to take Versamark ink and just randomly stamp around the edges of the circle. They're going in different directions a little bit. Some are going off of the cardstock. I realize you're not gonna be able to see a lot. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull in my little tray and my gold embossing powder, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the embossing powder here so that we can see exactly what we're talking about. Get on the edges. I probably should have used my embossing buddy. It's a great little tool. What it does, you definitely would have helped. Lesson of why you should use an embossing buddy. It's a little like resin bag that you put over the cardstock to take out any static so that all these little random pieces of embossing powder that are sticking would simply not do that had I remembered to use it. Okay, now I can see where those are and where I've got some space in between. So then I'm gonna go back with this little image that's like a branch, and I'm just going to randomly stamp in that open space. And again, just kind of changing the direction and having it go off of the cardstock just a bit. So I'll close that and then pour more powder to stick to the new images that we just stamped. So this is just gold embossing powder on basic white cardstock. Okay, I think I've got it. All right, so right now it's just a kind of, like granules. You see the individual granules, it's dull, it's not shiny at all. Now I'm going to grab my heat tool and we are going to go ahead and melt the powder. The key here is to keep the heat moving. So as you see the powder melt, I'm going to move that heat so it doesn't scorch the embossing powder. I just want it to melt. See it starting? I want to melt and keep it moving. So I'll go around, and because I'm doing the whole perimeter of the circle, my little fingers are going to get warm. I could grab some tweezers too. I feel like I possibly could have been better prepared with tweezers and the embossing buddy, but it will work just fine. I'm guessing sometimes you do that too. And maybe, like me, I know tweezers and embossing buddy would have made my life easier, but I'm simply too lazy to get up and go get them. Just being honest. Okay, now let's pull it in and see what it looks like and see if this is enough to take it over the top. So I've got the bigger circle. I've got the wider banner that I chopped. I've got the gold banner that I chopped. And then I've got that circle. It adds a lot, doesn't it? So remember, the first option was just to leave it a plain white circle. Second option is to emboss it in gold and leave it white. I'm going to throw a third option in there. Going to take my old olive ink and a blending brush, and I'm going to make this piece have some old olive color to it. And then I personally think you're going to like the third option the best. So I am just swiping my brush across the ink pad. I'm bringing it over. It's going to be irregular, and I'm totally okay with that. I don't need it to look uniform for any reason. So I'm just adding color. You make it as dark as you want it. Obviously, the more I go over it, the darker it's going to get. I would just kind of continue to go over it because the ink is actually not going to stick to the parts that are embossed. And so I kind of want to just rub it off of those places. It's not going to stick or dry on there. And so I just kind of want to remove it from the embossed parts. Okay, now I think I'm happy with it and ready to get the adhesive back in here and attach some layers. So I will put my regular Stampin' seal on the back of the big circle, and we'll get that in the relative center. Good enough. And then we will add the big banner pieces. And again, I just liked having that more solid polka dot on the background here. So looks good. Do the same thing on this side. Looks good to me. And then we'll add the little gold banner. Get adhesive on both of those right away. And that will come in just a little bit more centered vertically on the cherry cobbler polka dots. Okay, I think that one was a little bit longer. I'm just gonna scoot that in. And it doesn't match up with the end there, but it's gonna get covered up, so it totally doesn't matter. This focal point, I want to pop up a little bit, so I'm going to attach it with Stampin' Dimensionals. And then we will add that to the card. So remember, option 1, plain 2 white circles. Option 2 was embossed. Option 3 was embossed and then ink added. What do you think? I think this card is so fun. So many elements. The stitching, I don't even know if we've talked about that. The stitching on the dies is a lot of fun. It adds a little bit of texture. Embossing, designer paper, don't forget about that. And then the heat embossing, there, popping it up with the dimensionals. I am curious if when I pulled in this page of the catalog and I pointed out this card here that I was going to use as the starting point for my card, I wonder how many of you noticed this. It's almost like they put little hidden gems in the catalogs. This simply, it doesn't even have words other than iridescent pearl basic jewels, but they show the jewels, they show the pearls, they show the tip of a alcohol marker, Stampin' Blend. So I grabbed my dark cherry cobbler, and then they show you that some of them are red. They don't explain it, they don't do anything, but they just give you that little tip. So I'm going to pull in some of my iridescent pearls, and I'm going to use, I'll use the bullet point end, and I'm just gonna color. I'm gonna color the pearls, and I want to kind of go around the edges, make sure I get all of it completely colored. But how cool is this? So do you have Stampin' Blends at home? Whatever color you have, you can make that color pearl or rhinestone or whatever embellishment you have. If you get a more neutral, I guess we would say, embellishment like this, and you have Stampin' Blends, you can color them, make them whatever you want to match your projects. So I'm just going to take these then and add a few. I'll put one down here and then add a couple up on the top more. That one there, and one more up here. All right. This is what I have for you tonight, my friends. I love this card. I hope you do too. I hope it earned your thumbs up vote. Be sure to look in the description right below here. First of all, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of my videos. But then please go ahead and click on Lisa and Lauren and Julie's links. Watch their video and give that thumbs up vote to the one that you like the most this week. And we'll see who the winner is of this episode of the Great American Stampin' Show. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.